landed unfairly, took myself away.
Hey everybody, this is TJ with UnTamed CBD and LuZa Oils, and thank you for tuning in to our questions and answers segments. These are common questions that we get from customers of ours all around the country. So I'm going to address some of these here. Now again, if you have any questions that we're not addressing here, please contact us and we will answer you directly, answering those questions, and we will try to put those questions on these segments so that other people can get help. There's a lot of confusion around CBD. It's a product that's been around for a long time, but it's a newer product to most of the market. So we wanted to address some of the questions and concerns that people have around using a CBD product. The first question I get a lot is, am I going to test positive on a drug test? Well, you can if you're using a product that has a high enough level of THC. Now, again, UnTamed CBD is a zero THC product, where our LuZa CBD is considered more of a higher full spectrum product, meaning it has naturally occurring THC. Now, by law, under the 2014 Farm Bill, we cannot go above 0.3% THC in all of our products. And so on our LuZa line, you will see on our testing on our website that we are not above 0.3%. So we do fall under the federal law. Now, does that 0.3% are you gonna test positive on a drug test from that? More than likely not. Theoretically, it could happen. I mean, there is a very, very tiny trace amount of THC in the product. Up to this point, we're selling product throughout the country. We have not seen anyone test positive on our LuZa products. But if that's a real concern for you, we also offer the UnTamed products that again is full spectrum, that has 0% THC. So we have a line for each type of person that is worried or not worried about drug testing. Is taking CBD going to affect my other medications I'm on? Well, theoretically, CBD has kind of been shown to have an effect on the P450 enzyme, and that enzyme is basically responsible for helping medications get into the bloodstream and getting broken down in the body. Now, it's kind of along the grapefruit line. You can't, certain medications are not supposed to eat grapefruit because grapefruit does affect the P450 enzyme in the body, meaning that the blood levels of certain medications can go up if you eat grapefruit when you take that medication. Now, I'm saying theoretically, they're saying CBD does that. No one seems to know exactly what that amount of CBD is that you would have to take in order for that to happen. We've seen multiple studies by some of the pharmaceutical companies that are trying to get into this market where they're showing amounts of 500 to 1,000 milligrams of CBD before that effect takes place. Now, practically, we have not seen this happen in any way. And we have people come in with laundry lists of medications, and no one has had any kind of an adverse effect from any kind of a P450 enzyme getting altered by taking CBD. So theoretically, it could happen. Practically, we're just not seeing it happen at all. And even there, you would have to take massive amounts of CBD product to affect that P450 enzyme to cause an issue with any medication. So now that being said, there are certain medications we do watch. Blood thinners is one of them. CBD will naturally thin the blood. So you would want to check with your physician to make sure they're checking your clotting factors to make sure that your blood isn't getting too thin by taking CBD. And an easy fix for that is just lowering your prescription blood thinners and staying on CBD, which is going to be much healthier. Also, anybody who's newly diagnosed and on a new medication program for epilepsy, that's another one we would want to definitely work with a physician on that. But for most all other medications, there is no interaction between CBD and that medication taken at reasonable amounts. Is CBD going to affect my driving? Am I going to feel high? Am I going to have bad reactions? Not at all. CBD with a low amount of THC or no THC is not in any way going to affect your driving. Even full spectrum products like the LuZa line, where you're at 0.3% THC or lower, in no way is that enough THC to even come close, not even close to getting anyone high, or let alone affecting anybody's driving skills. Most people report when they're taking CBD that they're actually driving better, because what it does is it helps relax anxiety, so that you're actually focusing on what you're doing at the time, instead of maybe your mind wandering on what's going on at home or work with kids, whatever, that you're more focused in on the moment of actually driving and paying attention to what you're doing on the road. So again, CBD will not affect anybody's driving abilities at all. What about if I'm having surgery? Do I need to come off of CBD? In my opinion, yes. I would cut it out maybe 2 weeks to a week before, because again, CBD will thin the blood. So the last thing you want to go into surgery with is blood that's too thin. So in my suggestion, or if it was myself or my family members, I would probably come off CBD maybe 2 weeks, 10 days, somewhere in that area, to make sure that the blood is not being too thinned out before going into surgery. CBD dosage seems to be one of the most confusing parts of taking CBD. People just don't seem to get a lot of answers when it comes to dosage. You can't seem to find much on the internet, and CBD manufacturers like ourselves it's not that we're reluctant to give out dosage advice, that it's just there really is no accurate dosage advice. This can vary greatly from person to person on how their body will accept and react to CBD. So what I mean by that is someone coming in with, and I had an instance of this personally here in the store, someone came in with severe back pain. They took like a 250 milligram, which is a very mild dose of CBD, 2 drops, just 2 drops, and their back pain was drastically reduced. Now, you can have another person coming in with that same back pain, same basic size, same gender, that has to take maybe 20 to 30 drops of a 250 milligram CBD in order to get those same results. So it can vary greatly from person to person as how much CBD they need to take to get their problems resolved. Now, that being said, CBD, there is no overdose. So it's a very easy medication to self-medicate with. So what I suggest is pick a number of drops. Pick 5 drops, say, and take 5 drops and wait an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half, and see what kind of results you get. Now, if in an hour and a half, say you're taking it for pain or anxiety, that your pain and anxiety is no better at all, you know that 5 drops is not enough for your system. So you would take, say, another 5 drops again at that hour or hour and a half mark. And now you've got 10 drops in your system. Say another hour goes by and all of a sudden you're feeling drastically better. You know now that around 10 drops-ish is going to be your dosage. So the next day when you wake up and you're feeling either pain or anxiety again, you know that 10 drops is what you would need. Now, can you take CBD more often throughout the day? Of course. We have some people that use it hourly when they're having really bad days. And other people can get away with taking it just once a day, and it takes them through their day with no problems at all. But if you have days that are worse than others, you take more. If you have days where you feel better and not having as much pain or anxiety, you just take it, say, once or twice. But that's what's awesome about CBD, is it's a very, very safe medication that you can self-medicate yourself by the needs that you have at that given time. How will CBD affect my sleep? Well, CBD is what's considered biphasic, and what that means is, well, let me back up. CBD releases a lot of serotonin, which will be biphasic. And what that means is that when you're already in a state where you're at the end of the day and you're already naturally tired, and you take CBD, you will release a lot of serotonin into your system. Now, serotonin is going to help you get into a really nice deep REM sleep, which is the sleep you really desire for recovery and feeling better and just being well rested. Now, what happens if you take CBD during the day? Am I going to get tired and want to fall asleep? If you're well rested during the day, like you wake up in the morning and you're well rested, but you've got some pain and anxiety and you want to take CBD or any of the other issues that CBD works for, are you going to get sleepy? Most likely not, because it's biphasic, meaning it will release serotonin during the day, but that serotonin during the day, when your body's already well rested, is going to cause an effect of having more calmness in your day, or relieving that pain, relieving that anxiety, helping fight any of the other ailments you have without causing that drowsiness. Now, a disclaimer on that is, for some odd reason, we've noticed that women, for some reason, the first week they take it or so, until their body adjusts to this, have a tendency during the day to get a little bit drowsy. Not outright tired where you're going to just want to take a nap, but they just notice that they get a little drowsy. Not all women. But what we find is after about a week to 10 days of that, that just dissipates and their body adjusts to it and they feel great. So, excuse me, CBD at night will cause you to go into a nice deep sleep. CBD during the day will help you feel more relaxed, more productive, because your mind is calmer. You can focus on what you're doing. You could read more effectively, work more effectively. For kids in school with ADD and ADHD, it's amazing for them at school because they can now calm down and focus on what they need to focus on. Is CBD legal? Well, that depends. That depends on the source of the CBD. CBD sourced from the marijuana plant, which is the high THC plant, is legal if you're in a state where marijuana is legal, hence Colorado, Washington, Oregon, things like that. Now, CBD sourced from industrial hemp is legal in all states as long as your state hasn't banned CBD from industrial hemp. And there are a number, I think there's 5 states, if I know offhand, that have banned CBD from industrial hemp. Now, if you're not living in one of those states, CBD is legal by the 2014 Farm Bill, which defines industrial hemp and separates it from marijuana. So if you're sourcing all of your products from industrial hemp CBD, as we do here at UnTamed CBD and LuZa CBD, it is legal. If you're sourcing it from marijuana, you have to be in a state where marijuana is legal, and you cannot leave the state with that product, because as soon as you cross the state line with that product, you're now committing a federal crime, where that's the opposite for industrial hemp. As long as that level of THC is below 0.3% and the CBD is sourced from industrial hemp, it is legal under the 2014 Farm Bill passed by Congress. Can children take CBD? Yes, CBD is very safe for children. Now, ironically, when a mother gets pregnant, a woman gets pregnant, and she is breastfeeding her child, breast milk is very naturally high in cannabinoids, which is CBD. So they have found that through studies that kids who are breastfed are usually smarter and healthier as they grow up. And that they feel is because of those cannabinoids, or CBD, that child received during that phase when they were being breastfed. How can CBD possibly do all the things that you're seeing it doing? Well, we thought the same thing. When I saw the list of issues that people are successfully using CBD for, from pain, anxiety to various diseases and such, and the list was long, I didn't believe it either. Until I realized that we had a system in our body that actually produces cannabinoids, or CBD. Now you have to remember that CBD is only one of over 100 cannabinoids that we know of that the body produces, and also is found in either marijuana or hemp. So what that system is called is the endocannabinoid system. And what endo means is that your body produces them. Well, the first thing I looked at is what gland is producing these cannabinoids, because if cannabinoids are in marijuana, we have a gland that actually produces marijuana. Well, we really don't. How we make cannabinoids in a very general, basic way is we convert them from omega-3 oil. So when you're eating foods that are high in natural omega-3, now not GMO type of products, but natural salmon, wild-caught salmons, grass-fed beefs, various nuts, plants, things like that are high in omega-3, we convert that omega-3 into endocannabinoids. Now, isn't that interesting that the one oil that a lot of people are pushing for anti-inflammation, which inflammation is the cause of most diseases, is omega-3 oil? Well, it's not so much that omega-3 in and of itself is anti-inflammatory, it's more that it converts into endocannabinoids in the body, which those endocannabinoids are anti-inflammatory. So all you're doing by taking cannabinoids or CBD from an outside source, say like phytocannabinoids, and that phytocannabinoids mean it's plant-based cannabinoids, is you're replenishing your endocannabinoid system that may be weakened for some odd reason. Now, the endocannabinoid system can get weakened for a lot of reasons. It can be poor diet, poor lifestyle, things like that. It can be environmental, or it could be that you were just possibly born with an endocannabinoid deficiency. So all you're doing by taking products like UnTamed CBD or LuZa CBD is you're fortifying your endocannabinoid system with outside phytocannabinoids, which are exactly the same as what we would produce in our body as endocannabinoids. And what we find is as you get yourself centered by getting your endocannabinoid system healthy again, so you're in homeostasis, which means your body is in perfect balance or health, and it's sufficient, it's self-sufficient, is you can reduce the amount of phytocannabinoids or CBD that you take after you get to that perfect health. So it's not that CBD or cannabinoids cure or treat or do anything like that to all these various conditions. It just puts your body in alignment so these conditions and diseases can't flourish and thrive within your body.
It's what I did on the ferry, took myself away. It's true, you don't know me, rich.